gotta see your fucking phony face around. It's everywhere I go and everywhere I look, on every TV screen and every single book, telling lies and rumors about your childhood life, about how you love to pull the trigger or just stab with a...
Guys, what is up? Maximilian Must Know here. I wanted to do a quick video for you guys and sort of just show you my setup, you know, as a perfumer making my fragrances, and sort of just show you some of my materials and my process. And I thought that would be a cool video. I said I would do it a while ago. So basically, this is the shelf that I have that basically stores all my stuff. And so you can see this top shelf here, we strictly have things that I've diluted. I like to dilute my materials down to 10%. So these are things I have diluted. If something's super strong like ethyl maltol, you know, I broke that down to 25. 25th of a percent because it's super strong. But you can see mostly everything here. Fructone galoxolide, galbanum's 2%. Galbanum is super strong. So that's one shelf of things I've diluted. You know, I believe there's about 60 there. And then about another 60 here. Just things I've diluted. There's rose. That's a natural rose from Albert Fial. That's a rose from Givaudan. There's some rum ether. There's some synthetic jasmine. There's a sandalwood accord. There's some natural spearmint, some natural star anise, stamone, which is a very green plant-like material. Some sweet orange essential oil. Tangerine essential oil. Tobacco is at 1%. That's natural tobacco leaf. Tomato 10%. Tuscanol, which is a material that smells sort of like anise or licorice. This is trimethylpyrazine. Pyrazines are super strong. This is at 1%. It smells like peanuts and sort of popcorn. I'm using that for a Cracker Jack accord. Tree moss, which is sort of a synthetic version of oak moss, which you guys know is probably heavily restricted. This is vanillin, synthetic vanilla, which almost every fragrance uses. I keep that at 1%. And then you've got vetiver from Haiti. You've got ylang ylang, a complete ylang ylang, and some yuzu from Japan. So I have about, 120 materials diluted. I have more than 120 materials. This shelf here, what we have here is some accords that I purchased from Perfumer's Apprentice when I first started buying stuff. And unfortunately, these are in oil. And because I work in Perfumer's alcohol, I really can't use these, but they're kind of fun to just play around with. There's a white musk accord, there's a white grapefruit accord, there's a vanilla bean accord, there's a jasmine accord. So behind that, you'll see my experiments. And these are different fragrances that I'm working on. Fuck the Alarm, God Body, Just the Tip 1 through 7. I did a whole video on Just the Tip. Leaning 1 through 3. Lude, Morning Wood 2, SS1, SS2, SS3, SS4, SS4, Step Up, Vetiver 1, Vetiver 2, Vetiver 3. So those are my experiments. Just stuff that I'm playing around with. And then here, these are a couple materials that are solid. So ethyl maltol's crystals, ambroxan's crystals. I've got some methylcyclopentanone there, which is like a caramel thing. And then some coumarin, which sort of has a vanilla tonka bean smell. So those are powders that I need to dilute. In this shelf here, you have natural materials. So, you know, there's a good amount here. Cumin, cypress, elemi, espresso, eucalyptus, galbanum, geranium, guaiac wood, lemon, myrrh, olabinum, orange crystals, oregano, peach, petitgrain, pine needle, pink pepper, pink grapefruit, pink pepper, rose, rosewood, sandalwood, styrax, agates, tobacco, tomato, yuzu, saffron. So these are all my naturals. Bunch of different manufacturers here. A lot of them in the front you just see are Perfumer's Apprentice. And then these are my aroma chemicals. I have a pretty vast collection at this point of aroma chemicals. You got a red apple accord, you've got Givaudan rose, rose oxide, safraline also by Givaudan, San Paquita, sandalwood accord, stamone, styryl acetate, Suderol, which is a beautiful leather material by IFF, Sylvamber, Tuscanol, tetramethylpyrazine, that tree moss you saw, trimethylpyrazine, Ultrazor, undercavitrol, vanillin, Velvione. So all different aroma chemicals, big bottle of ISO Super there. And then nothing crazy here. This is my middle row. I just have some pens, some coffee beans in a bag to smell between evaluations, and some stickers for those. And then down here, just a lot of my equipment. So I got a big thing of Perfumer's alcohol, a big thing of ISO Pro alcohol 91%, some stirring rods, a lot of test strips, you know, more alcohol, some droppers, and then huge bags of pipettes, because I use a pipette once and then I toss that shit. I don't use glass ones, I don't clean them out, I'm one and toss them. So that's sort of my shelf here. This is all my material. So next I'm going to quickly take you over to where I actually sit and make fragrances, which is totally unimpressive, but come on over. This is basically my little setup here. Nothing crazy. It's at my computer desk. I'm going to get something bigger at some point and try to make a whole organ, but right now this is a little hobby thing I'm doing, so I'm not going crazy. You know, I have a labeler here for my dilutions. I have tape for the labeler. I have just a regular little cap there to measure powders, ethanol droppers, and some test tubes and stuff like that. It looks like I'm a heroin addict, honestly. And then this most important thing probably for me is a scale. I really highly recommend measuring everything out. Don't try to do drops. It's a mistake. You know, at some point I'm gonna have to get a better scale, just because, you know, this one's a little bit off sometimes. It'll give me slightly different measurements for the same thing, but for the time it's fine. Eventually I will invest in a plug-in scale that won't turn off, and then I get a lot of these clips so that I can, you know, take a test strip and just keep it in there and keep evaluating different things. So that's really it, guys. You know, it's a pretty simple setup. You know, as I continue to advance and get better at this, I'll add different things and better things, you know, bigger tubes, bigger beakers, better scale, you know, perhaps a better labeler or printer just for labels, stuff like that. But for the time being, I'm really happy, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm gonna actually have a contest similar to what another reviewer did, where you guys get to dream up a scent and I'll try to make it for you. So stay tuned for that down the road. I hope you're enjoying these. I think the next video we'll do next month, I'm gonna walk you through the process, my process, how I spend my week. I have sort of a regimen of Monday through Friday. This is what I do every week, and then the weekend, this is what I do. But I try to spend at least an hour or so a day investing in myself in perfumery. So we'll talk about that soon, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching.
Cause they made you front, no never that. Got to be nuts, we got the guts that let you know what's real and still make you move your butt to the left and to the right. Critics front and back, so straighten up.